Hey guys, so as requested, I'm going to be making a perspective tutorial series. I'm going to start with 1-point perspective today, and then I'll get further into crazier stuff all the way down the line to 5-point perspective and that once we get there. But for now, I'm going to show you basic 1-point perspective, how to do it, and then we'll move into 2-point perspective. So we're just going to start with drawing a dot on the middle of our paper. Can you see that? Yes, you can. Okay, and then with that, I'm just gonna draw 2 lines going out in different ways. From there, if you need the guidelines, you can go ahead and just draw them all the way going up and down. So kind of just like this, making more of those lines coming out from this one point. A lot of times when you're first starting out, using these guidelines will help you a lot. So now that we've got those, we can go ahead and start drawing. I'm just going to start with simple shapes. Let's do rectangles and squares. Coming out, so we're going to go this way, and then I want it to go straight up. Our up and downs are not changing. So when we draw an upwards line, it goes straight up towards the top of the paper. It doesn't go towards any of the other lines. It doesn't go towards the dot. It goes straight up or straight down, whichever way you're going. You don't change your up and down directions using a 1 point. So you want to make your lines go up, and then this is where these lines come in. So you don't want your top line to match the bottom line. You want it to be coming out of where this dot would be. So if you take where you are on this dot and you drag yourself out right here, that's where that line is going to be. So that's the top of the shape. So now I've got this rectangle going on, and from there I can just go straight back. And again, this is a 1-point perspective. So when you go straight back, you are just going straight to the side of the paper. You're not following any of these lines, you're not following the dot. The only thing that 1-point perspective changes is the front lines, which is these coming out. Your lines going up and your lines going back don't change. So again, I'm making these lines straight back, and then I can just make back of it like that, straight up. Cool. So there you go, pretty simple. And then let's say you wanted to do one kind of in the front. Same situation, follow your guidelines, and then you can kind of make anything just going off of those guidelines. Your up and down lines stay up and down, they do not change. But your back and forth lines do change. So they always will be going back, following back to where this dot is. One of the biggest mistakes when you start doing 1-point perspective is that a lot of times people will follow the line for this one, and then once they get to this one, they try and make it the same. So then it ends up going like this instead of being coming out. See the problem? And then a lot of times they'll go like that, and then you have a completely different shape there than you do here. So always remember that your top and bottom lines are not going to match. They're always going to be pointed towards the dot, wherever your dot is on your paper. If your dot's in a different place on your paper, it's still the same idea. Your lines are going towards that dot. Now, if we wanted to do a different shape, it's the same situation. Let's draw a circle and a triangle, just at random places, all right? This is how I challenge myself when I'm trying to learn perspective, is I draw random shapes, because a square is easy, right? So, my lines for this triangle are still going to be lining up with this dot. It's the same idea. Okay, so, and then I can end it wherever I want. And then here is my shape. And since I did that one above the dot, we're looking at the bottom of it instead of the top of it. Now this circle, same thing. Follow your guidelines. Now look at that. They're all going the same direction. Let's do a star. A star is a little bit more complicated. Don't come for me about my star, okay? Lines are still going to be following towards that dot. It will always be going towards the dot. For any reason it's not going towards the dot, you're doing it wrong. There we go. Look at that. So hopefully this is as simple as and as straightforward as I feel like I can be. So hopefully this is informational. Sorry, I just realized that one needs a line too. These ones down here don't get a line because they're behind the star, obviously, so you're not gonna see that. Okay, so I just sped it up here because I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys this 1-point perspective in action. So I'm just doing a street view, sketching out the basic shapes for now. Adding in a little bit more detail here with this staircase I'm gonna put in. I messed up the perspective of this staircase a little bit, which is why you see me going back and erasing so many times, but I eventually figured it out. It was just at a weird angle, so I had to remind myself like which lines are supposed to connect to the dot, but I eventually got it clear in my mind and did it. For a lot of this, if you struggle with it the way that I'm struggling, you can use a ruler and just connect the ruler to the dot and wherever your line is going to be. It makes it like so much smoother and easier. I just don't do that anymore because I'm lazy. And here's another spot where I got kind of stuck with that perspective on the upper part of the house there, but I eventually figured it out, as we do. And I decided to do a taller building here just so you guys can see kind of how that upper line is going to end up going upwards instead of downwards at a certain point when you get high enough on the paper. Getting these street details in here, put a little bench in here, make it cute, add some, I don't know, just bushes, random stuff. Okay, hopefully this helped you understand 1-point perspective a little bit better. If it didn't, leave comments and I will try to make it better for next time. I hope I did a good job explaining what I'm talking about though. I will get into 2-point perspective and 3-point perspective in the next video. I'm gonna do both in one. So look forward to that.